multiple factors can contribute to communication failures in a data logger network. As PC400 or LoggerNet software operates, it saves logs of various events, including clock checks, as well as the sending and receiving of data or programs. Most users will not need to understand these logs. However, if technical assistance is needed, a Campbell Scientific support engineer might request one or more of these logs to help diagnose and resolve issues. This video demonstrates how to use the LogTool utility included in PC400 and LoggerNet to view log files and easily compress them for transfer to Campbell Scientific. LogTool is a utility that is included in PC400 and in LoggerNet. When the LogTool is first opened, two logs are displayed, the transaction log and the communication log. The transaction log includes information on the transactions that occur between the data logger support software and devices in the data logger network. Examples of these types of events are clock checks, program downloads, and data collection. The communication log records information on the quality of communications in the data logger network. Three types of messages are recorded: status messages, shown in black, warning messages, shown in blue, and failure messages, shown in red. The transaction and communication logs are usually the most important files for identifying where the communication link is failing. Two other types of log file may be viewed in LogTool: the object state log and the low-level I/O log. The object state log is used for troubleshooting an object in the data logger network. This is useful when the cause of the communication problem is an issue with the data logger support software. Because this type of problem is rare, the object state log is not displayed by default. It can be enabled by clicking this icon, or from the View menu. The low-level I/O log displays low-level incoming and outgoing communications for a communication port. Messages are displayed in both hexadecimal and ASCII and require significant expertise to interpret. So low-level I/O is not displayed by default. To view low-level I/O, select the desired communication port to watch from this drop-down menu or select it from the View I/O menu. These four types of log file may be saved to disk. By default, saving each type of file to disk is enabled and the files are saved to C Campbell Sci PC400 logs or C Campbell Sci LoggerNet logs. Each type of log is associated with 5 different files over 1 megabyte each, with 5 low-level I/O log files for each communication port in a network. Each file is sized at over 1 megabyte, so log files have the potential of consuming a significant amount of hard drive space. The amount of hard disk space used may be modified using the log file settings option. I'll demonstrate this later in the video. The active transaction log is trans$.log. There are 4 historical files with numbers 1 through 4 in place of the $. When the active file reaches full size, the oldest historical file is removed and the other historical file names are incremented by 1. And the newly closed file is renamed tran1.log. Finally, a new tran$.log file is created. The active communication log is comms$.log. The active object state log is state$.log. When these reach full size, they are closed and all files are renamed in the same way. Because there are low-level I/O files for each communication port, the naming is slightly different. All active low-level I/O files start with IO $ followed by the name of the communication port and the extension .log. When each of these files reaches full size, the $ is replaced by a number and a new active file is created. The log file settings option is used to configure the 4 log files that contain information about communication in the data logger network. To do that, I go to the Options menu and select Log File Settings. That launches a window that shows current settings. By default, each log file type is saved to the hard drive with 1 active file and 4 historical files. The file size parameter controls how large the active file will grow before it is closed, renamed, and a new active file created. By default, PC400 sets the file size to 1.44 megabytes, and LoggerNet sets the file size to 1.2 megabytes. I can change these parameters from default if I want to conserve hard drive space. For example, I can uncheck the Save to Disk box for state logs and low-level I/O logs. I can decrease the number in the file count field to store a shorter historical record. If I'm having an intermittent communication problem and the time period covered by the logs isn't capturing the failure events, I could also increase the number of files to store a longer historical record. After making the changes I want to in the log file settings, I select OK to close the window. To allow for convenient transfer of the log files to technical support, LogTool has an option for saving log files to a zipped folder. To do that, I go to File, Zip All Log Files. This opens a browse window that lets me choose a file name and pathway for the zipped folder. If I have a large network with a lot of communication ports, such as many data loggers communicating over cell modem, my zipped log files folder may be too large to send by email. In that case, I could put it in a shared folder or create my own zipped folder manually. I could also delete the low-level I/O files and try the zip all log files again. If I can't transfer the entire zipped folder, the most important log files to send are the transaction and communication logs. Make sure those logs include data from the time period where the communication failure occurred. Once the relevant log files have been saved and compressed into a zip folder, the folder is ready to be sent to a Campbell Scientific technical support engineer.